Sometimes we will be given a data set and we will be using a data set to find the number to a corresponding percentile rather than finding the percentile of a corresponding value. When we're asked to find the value to a corresponding percentile, we're going to use this formula. That formula C is equal to N times P divided by 100. C, in this case, represents the number of data values below a corresponding X. N is the total number of values we have, and P is the percentile. Basically, this formula is similar to the one that we did before, but instead of us trying to find P, which is the percentile, we are trying to find C, which represents, scroll back up, this value right here, the number of corresponding values below X. So we're going to use this formula with the same data set as before, already put in order from smallest to largest, and we want to find values corresponding to the 75th percentile and to the 90th percentile. Before we continue, you guys need to understand what is being written right here. When you use this formula to find the corresponding data value to a percentile, we have two different categories we can follow. If C is not a whole number, round up to the next whole number. Starting from the lowest value, count over to the number that corresponds to the rounded up value, which we will see in a few seconds. If C is a whole number, we want to use the midpoint between the Cth value and the next value when counting up from the lowest value, as well what we're going to see in several minutes. So, if C is a decimal, that is not a whole number, round up to the next whole number. Now, if it is a whole number, you want to find the midpoint between that Cth data value and the next data value after that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, let's find the 75th percentile and then let's find the 90th percentile. For the 75th percentile, we know that P equals to 75 because P represents the percentile. In this data set, we have 10 numbers. So let's plug that into the formula to find which data value corresponds to the 75th percentile. C is equal to 10 data values times 75 for the 75th percentile divided by 100. 10 times 75 is 750. 750 divided by 100 equals to 7.5. This number right here is a decimal. It is not a whole number, which means we must round up to the next whole number. So round that data value up to 8. C equals to 8, which means the 8th value in the data set represents the 75th percentile. The 8th value in the data set represents the 75th percentile. Let's see what that value is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That data value is 22. 22 is the 8th value. Therefore, 22 is the 75th percentile. And that is it for the first part of this question. Let's reset. Let's now find which data value represents the 90th percentile. So, for the next problem, I'm going to go over to the right side of the screen. And in this case, P is 90 for 90th percentile. We still have 10 data values in the data set. Let's calculate the value that will represent the 90th percentile. So C equals to 90, or rather, 10, because N first, times P, which is 90, divided by 100. 10 times 90 is 900. 900 divided by 100 is 90. 9. My apologies. 900 divided by 100 is 9. Now remember what it says before. If C is a whole number, use the midpoint between the Cth value and the next value when counting up from the lowest score. So we're going to do that. Since C is a whole number, the 90th percentile is the midpoint between the 9th value and what comes after 9? 10. And the 10th value. Remember, it is the midpoint, the midway between the 9th data value and the next one. And in this case, the number that comes after 9 is 10. So let's go ahead and look at our data set and determine the 9th value, the 10th value, and then put the numbers, or rather find the midpoint of those two numbers. So we already know that 22 is the 8th data value. So that means 24 is my 9th data value. 25 is the 10th data value. So we're going to find the midpoint of those two numbers. 24 plus 25 divided by 2. 24 plus 25 divided by 2. 24 plus 25 is 49. 49 divided by 2 is 24.5, which means 24.5 is the 90th percentile. And that is it to this question. All right, guys. Hope that made sense. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you understand how we complete both process. When C is not a whole number, we round up to the next whole number. When C is a whole number off the back, we need to find the midpoint, the middle value between that Cth value, which is the 9th value in this case, and the next value. And the number that is after 9 is 10. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. Take care.